Hey guys, Josh here, and today I'm going to talk to you about two foods which seem to be very problematic in modern society for humans. And these foods are eggs and dairy. So there's a few reasons why these foods are problematic, particularly in the modern day, more so than they could have been back in the day when people were healthier. There's less chemicals in the world and less craziness in the world with the food and everything. But the main reason that eggs and dairy are dangerous for people living in modern day times is because eggs and dairy are being used as the number one and number two substrate to culture viruses and pathogens. Bacteria that are used in vaccines. So basically, when vaccine companies are forming a culture of some type of virus that they're putting in small doses in the vaccine, they're feeding them, number one, the first food they're using to feed them is eggs. And so they're becoming accustomed to the eggs. And they're learning that this is a food source for them, they're adapting to that, and therefore that food is going to strengthen them much more than any other food, kind of like steroids for that virus or bacteria. And then with the eggs, of course, they already have a lot of hormones in them naturally, being an egg that's supposed to grow into an animal. So you're getting a double whammy feeding that virus. And then number two, food being used as a substrate for the pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and vaccines is dairy, milk. So and then milk, also it's got a lot of hormones in it. It's got a lot of protein building blocks for an infant to grow into an adult. And so what happens when people are eating these foods and they've been vaccinated for some virus, to protect them from some virus, injecting that virus into their body, and then they go and have a diet that's high in eggs or dairy, they're on a low level or to any degree, potentially, feeding that bacteria strain that's living in them, whether it's to a lower degree, a medium degree, or a higher degree. And it's causing problems, because it's, then the bacteria can get out of control. Another thing that is problematic with the eggs and the dairy is that they're both inflammatory foods. They're high inflammatory foods. Now, if you would ask nutritionists and doctor, well, why is it high inflammatory? They might not be able to tell you why. They just, it just creates inflammation in the body. I think we know now that it's because of the high vitamin A and carotenoids in those foods, which then convert to retinoic acid and create a type of chemical peel in the body and is liver toxic. So it's damaging your intestines and everything in your GI tract. And some people aren't detoxifying it properly. And if you want to learn more about that, please watch my video on vitamin A toxicity. And then, a third reason we can give why eggs and dairy are problematic is because they're a high-fat food. They're a high mucus-forming food because of their nature, their structure. They clog up the liver because fatty foods do that. They're not easily eliminated sometimes from the body unless you have high digestive fire. So if you're working with low digestive fire, or you're already sick, or have some type of illness or disease, these foods, I would say, you want to avoid them and go for another menu. So that is some basics on why eggs and dairy in our modern times, possibly you should avoid them.